Lindsay mentioned a letter that they found in their archives that sort of started this research. And the letter from Mrs. McCoy and Mrs. Savage is over here on the right. And they're writing to Mrs. Sloan and thanking her for the opportunity to tour the Hermitage gardens and the Hermitage grounds. And this is Mrs. McCoy over here on the left, and this is Mrs. Savage. I had to blow the picture up, so it's not the best quality, but you can see these two women who were prominent leaders in Tidewater garden clubs right here. And here's the letter that they write to Mrs. Sloan about visiting the garden. And I think the exchange between them, here they thank her for the visit, and she replies, and says, "I'm so glad that you and your friends enjoyed seeing the gardens." And she says, "In the future, if the clubs are visiting here again, let me know so we can arrange another party." And then she offers to share some of her iris with them. And I think this shows a couple of those important values, those 4 values that are articulated in the 1942 handbook. And one of them is that they are, through this, demonstrating cooperation across the color line back then. They are they didn't just have this meeting at the Hermitage, but they're planning future meetings. And Mrs. Sloan is sharing iris. And I think the other important thing to note is that they are taking this visit to the Hermitage during the Great Depression, during segregation, and the garden clubs allowed these women to really feed their souls with beauty and with nature. And while the world was on fire around them, it let them stop for a moment, like gardening does for a lot of us, and just kind of fill back up and get that energy that we need to be able to fill our buckets and face that fire again. And so garden clubs in Virginia offered that to their participants and to women. They offered them the opportunity to take care of themselves and to experience the power of beauty in dark times. They allowed them to challenge the existing, they allowed them to challenge segregation. And they also led to social transformation in really important ways. I think that all of the work that they were doing, these small acts of improvement in their neighborhoods, these small acts of cooperative gardening efforts, these small acts of beautifying their homes, they all led to tremendous changes across the state. And the quote that I pulled right here is from the Garden Club's 23rd session. In 1955, the Roanoke Tribune said, "The effects of this organization can be felt all over the state of Virginia. Wherever there are garden clubs, there is beauty.